Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching or clicking on my first video. Hope you watch. I hope you enjoy it. But today I'm gonna try to keep it simple, shorter if possible. Just gonna be doing a little bit of work on my car here. It's, you probably can't really see it, but it's a 1974 Chevy Malibu with it's got a 383 stroker. Nice motor, but it runs a little hot, in my opinion. I don't know much about the car, the motor, all that stuff. So I'm learning. It's kind of what this channel's about, the learning process, not building it, but just kind of owning a hot rod like this. I guess you could call it a hot rod. But so today I'm just going to be replacing. I got a thermostat right here. Got the thermostat I'm going to be replacing. I got a gasket sitting over here. And then I'm just going to flush the coolant. Not flush. I'm going to just take the coolant out of it. Put fresh coolant in, because the coolant that's in it's been in it for a little while. And, well, the car sat for, I think, a little over a year is what the guy told me. So I'm just going to, get some fresh coolant in it. Hopefully, it'll run a little cooler. I'm hoping that this will fix that, because like I said, the coolant's probably a little old. It looks a little watered down. So this should hopefully help my, not an overheating problem. It doesn't overheat. It just runs a little hot for my liking. You can smell it whenever you stop. But yeah, today's going to be a little learning curve for me. I'm going to learn how to do the YouTube stuff, the videos, how to make them, how to record them. I'm recording on my phone. I don't have a special mic. I don't have a holder. I have me. That's all I got. So the video isn't the best. Do excuse that. I'm working with what I got. But yeah, I already got all the tools that I should need. I already got those out. I got flashlights for better lighting. Should be, hopefully, like I said, an easy day. Just working on my car, trying to have fun. I'm gonna keep everything family friendly and hopefully a little humorous if possible. I like to make jokes and stuff if possible, or be educational if there's anyone else on here that owns a car like this. Maybe it's educational. It's a learning curve for me, learning how to do this, learning how to work on these old cars. Maybe if you're someone that's been doing it for years and years and years, you can critique me. Maybe if you're trying to learn how to do this, maybe you can watch this. Maybe it'll be educational. I do have a little bit of background working on cars, just a little bit. I've been working in a mechanic shop now for just about maybe 3 years. But I've never really been like working on the cars. It's mainly just been like, I'll help around a little bit, so. But I figure I just bought this car not too long ago, actually. I figure, why not? I'm going to get into it. I'm going to have my fun, because I've learned my stuff with the couple years that I've been working in a mechanic shop. But, this is kind of putting it to the test, we'll say, I guess. But, should be fun. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hopefully all the bolts come out easily and nothing breaks is what I'm hoping for. Nothing should break. I think most of the stuff on this motor's been replaced. It's newer, whatever. I've been talking for a little bit too long now, I can already tell. So I'll cut real quick and, well, should be taking stuff off my car. Alright, so we're under the hood of the car now. And apparently I can't flip my camera around on my phone. Didn't know that. I'll have to figure out how to do. Like, I got a GoPro, so I'll have to learn how to do all that stuff soon, so that when my videos can be a little bit better. I got 8mm socket with a 1/4" ratchet. I'm going to try to video this if I can. I have that bolt right there. I'm going to take that out. That should release this clamp. I really hope you guys are able to see this, and I'm not just talking a bunch of nonsense. But I'm going to take that off, and then I should be able to pull this hose back a little bit. And then I got this catch pan down here to catch all the fluid in. I'm going to try to film this if possible. Like I said, I can't flip my camera around on my phone apparently, but we'll see how this works. Let me make sure ratchet is on loosen, so that way we're not accidentally tightening this way too tight. Sorry if my arm is in the way. Like I said, first time ever doing this stuff on video. Wow. Looks like I might need a little bit of an extension here. Luckily, I have a really cool brother that got me this Craftsman toolkit maybe 2 years back. My first time, not first time ever using it, but first time ever using it for a video, I should say. So, just got a little, I don't know, maybe 3.5 inch extension here. Just gonna try to get down in there on that bolt. Just loosen it up a little bit. Make sure. Looks like it's starting to come loose. Is it? I believe so. So let's. Oh. No. Yep, there we go. Make sure the ratchet's going the right way. Like I said, sorry if you can't see this the best. I'm doing my best. But, hey, you know. Aww. Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like this car is not gonna be nice to me. A little bolt in there. Let's see if I can video this. Let's see, can you see it? Okay, you see that little... Alright, you can't really see it. The bolt head's kind of sticking out because that clamp is not working properly. What should happen with those clamps, sorry if I was just blinding you with the light, my bad. But with these clamps, it should be, you loosen that bolt, and then the little, if you can see them, try to video it maybe this way so I can see it too. It's got little holes right there, if you can see that. Sorry if you can't, but it's got little holes, and that screw is supposed to rotate in those holes so that way the clamp comes out, or loosens, I should say. But it appears this clamp doesn't want to play nice, so I have to replace this clamp eventually. So we'll just take that screw out of the clamp, so that way we can get this process going. I believe I have extra clamps. So yeah, you see, those very big threads work their way around in this clamp and make it loosen. There we go. Cool. So I got it to break loose. Now I'll take this clamp off so I can show you what I was talking about. Because I might be able to reuse this actually. There we go. So has these little grooves that these threads catch on. Now, let's see if I can put this back together for you guys real quick so you can see how it works. Don't know if I will be able to or not, because this one is a little old and corroded maybe. Let's see. Maybe. I'm going to grab my little ratchet here. Where to put it? Here it is. Grab my ratchet. Tighten it down. And there we go. There, so you see how that's slowly feeding that out and making this circle smaller? That is how it makes friction. Aww. This screw, that's easy. We'll just take the screw back out, and then we can put this clamp back on there whenever we get done. Now, this is the fun part, because this is the part that makes a nice little mess. You grab this hose. Yep, okay. So that took a little bit of force. you just kind of twist it a little bit, you know? And then, oh good, we already got coolant dripping, which is what we want. So you're just going to slowly kind of work this hose off of here. Just slowly. I don't have gloves right now, so I'm probably going to get a little bit of coolant on my hands, which is always lovely. Oh yeah, there we go. That's why we have that catch pan under there, because all that coolant you can hopefully see rushing out. Yep. Oh yeah. So that is how you take the hose off and drain your coolant that way. Ah, that's not fun. It appears we got leaking. That is not good. Not good at all. Well, I'm going to need some paper towels. I have a little intermittent here. I'm going to have to clean that up. I'll be right back. Alright, so I just, I don't know if, there, I stuffed a little piece of paper towel down in the little rail down there, so hopefully a bunch of antifreeze doesn't get all over the place again, just like it did. So now we'll just, again, all I did was put that hose back on there and it stopped it from pouring out. So now we'll just try this again. Yep. I have no idea how much, sorry about the lighting, still getting used to this, but I have no idea how much fluid is in this thing. I know that that is the old green coolant, but man, we're not putting that green stuff back in there. I got some yellow universal, which yes, you can use on a car like this. Some people say you can't, shouldn't, whatever, it's an old car, you put the green stuff in it. Not on this. On this one, I feel best putting that good old yellow universal in it. Now, just because it's called universal doesn't mean it can go in every single vehicle, because it can't. There are some vehicles that you cannot put yellow universal into. Some people don't know that. Like some, I think it's mostly the Japanese vehicles that have their own type of coolant. I think it's blue, if I'm right. If not, then somebody please correct me on that, but I believe it is blue. And I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. I just know that you have to use it on those specific vehicles that require it, or if you look up a vehicle and it states specifically that it requires a certain kind of coolant, put the recommended kind of coolant in it. You don't want to be, you know, putting the incorrect kind of coolant in it and your vehicle breaks down and or doesn't run. I just found something else on this car that's not good. Just found that belt looks like it might be rubbing on that nut right there. That's not good. I'm gonna have to fix that. Never noticed that before. Hey, but that's the kind of stuff you find whenever you're working on a vehicle that's pre-owned, pre-built, whatever. This thing is bought, not built. I did not build this car. I bought this car. Ow. Just hit my knee. But, I'm gonna let that drain out for a second. I'm gonna clean my hands off because I got coolant on my hands. And then, yeah, I'll be back. Alright, after that small intermittent right there, I'm back. So, what I did was, as you guys can see, that's all that nasty coolant down in there. It kind of has like a brown look to it. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But, so I blocked off the lower radiator, hose, whatever you want to call it right there. I blocked that off and the hose with just some paper towels. Now, the thermostat. I'm going to put a new one of those in. And, that should be pretty simple, actually. This I have done before. I have put a thermostat in before on my, I think it was my old, no, it's my current vehicle. I got a truck. It's a little 2001 Chevy S10. I love that little thing. It gives me some troubles, but it's a vehicle. What do you expect? It's reliable. I don't like it. So, I believe this is we got a 9/16. It's a standard, because this is old American muscle. Why wouldn't it be standard? Let's see if I can't break this loose with one hand. Oh, look at that. So, we'll just take this here off. Be aware of that. I just probably almost cut myself with that. That thing's a little sharp right there. But, yeah, see? That's coming out nice and easy. And we'll actually keep it in there just a little bit so that way it kind of holds itself in there. And then, what we'll do is for the back one, need a little extension. So, put that, sock it back, because the second one is right back in there. Let me actually grab my light real quick, so hopefully we can get a little bit better lighting, maybe. Got a little Craftsman light here. I can't lie, I really like Craftsman. They're a good brand, they work good, not that expensive. Dang, that's a solid sound coming from that. They work good, they're not that expensive. And you know, it's just, I mean, it's not a Snap-on. That's that bolt back there that I'm getting off. It's not a Snap-on, it's not a Mac Tools, it's none of that stuff. But, I gotta use both hands on this. But, it works. That's what matters. Whenever you're first doing this stuff, you don't need the top of the line. I don't care what anyone tells you. You do not need the absolute top of the line whenever you first get into automotive cars. Go down to Harbor Freight, or whatever your little local tool store is. Shoot, even the auto parts store, like AutoZone and O'Reilly's. Sorry if my phone just flipped a couple times. I just noticed that I kind of flipped it a little bit. But just go down to your local store, pick you up some tools, and get to work. That's all you need. Shoot. There's that one. Got one bolt here. The bolts actually don't look too terrible. Not corroded or anything. Sit that over there on my little tray. Get this bolt out. Yep. Put this over here on my little tray. And then, should just be those two bolts. There might be a little bit of coolant that comes out of this. Well, if it comes off. Huh. Just a little stuck on there. Might have to grab a little pry bar. Do we have a little pry bar? I know we got a littler pry bar. Okay, I'll just use the bigger pry bar. Yep, got it. Very, very minimal force required. So, all we gotta do is take that. Oh. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't a problem, but I didn't know this about this car. Thought I heard someone say something about it, but I don't know. I don't even know where to set my phone. I'll set you guys right there. Grab this. A little bit of coolant got on the serpentine belt. Nothing terrible. And just wipe it off. Wipe it off like it's nothing. There we go. Get on the ground here, because you got a little bit on the ground. Coolant won't hurt the ground or anything. Doesn't like stain too bad as long as you get it cleaned up pretty quick. But what I just discovered, there's supposed to be a thermostat in there. There is no thermostat in there. So, what we're going to do is put a thermostat in there. Now, if you're questioning, don't mind that, that was just my extension falling. If you're questioning why there's no thermostat, there's a reason for that. On some cars like this, The reason is race car, technically. This thing's technically a race car. Not really a race car, but by technicality, some might consider it that. All I'm doing right now is I'm just peeling this little stuff off that I can get. And then take a razor blade, just clean up these edges. But some people might technically consider this a race car. And on like drag cars and race cars and stuff, they don't have thermostats because they don't really need them. And the reason why they don't use thermostats is so that way they have coolant just constantly flowing through the motor. Constantly. It's going directly from the radiator, directly to the motor. There's no slowing down of the coolant. What a thermostat does is it prevents that. It's like a blocker almost. So you have your thermostat down in there, and it will only open whenever that coolant reaches a certain temperature. And if it's not at that certain temperature, then it's closed, therefore letting the coolant get nice and cold, which is why I'm doing this. So that way I have colder coolant, so that way it runs a little bit cooler. Like I did this off of video. I should have videoed it, but you know, I put these new cooling fans on it because the old cooling fans went bad. But that helped the issue of overheating. Like I said, though, it still ran a little hot. And now I know why. There's no thermostat in there. But I'll allow this thermostat in. So that way, once the coolant reaches 180 degrees, that's the temperature thermostat that I got. Once it reaches 180 degrees, the thermostat will open up, let all that coolant rush in there. But then the coolant flowing into the radiator will be cooler than that because of the cooling fans and that stuff. So that'll reach the thermostat. And if I'm right on this, I'm not totally certain how thermostat works, but if you know, correct me please. But so the thermostat will then close if the coolant isn't at the right temperature, which is kind of what I want to do, because then this coolant in here will stay nice and cold, so that way whenever it reaches 180 degrees at the thermostat, it'll rush all that cold coolant into the motor, keeping everything chill, everything cooled down, so we don't overheat, we don't run too hot. And that's what we want. We don't want to overheat, we don't want to get too hot, we want to have that nice, good temperature. Which, I'm not totally certain what a good temperature is on this thing. I really don't. I don't know that many specs about the motor, about any of that. But like I said, I did smell it was getting a little too hot for comfort, and that's what I'm doing on this. I think that upper hose has finally stopped dripping now, so I think that means I'm done talking. I think I need to get back to work. First, take a sip of Mountain Dew, though. Refreshing. It's not tea. I like tea better than Mountain Dew, but don't have any tea right now. So what I'm going to do to clean this off is I'm going to grab a razor blade and gently run the razor blade over this rubber gasket, which was right here. And I'm going to do the same to the end of the hose. As you can see, it's got that rubber stuff on it. I'm just going to take a razor blade and kind of shave it around there. I'll show you. I'll grab a razor blade real quick. I'll be right back. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, but just lightly shaving that rubber off. Alright, so we got our razor blade here. This is a brand new razor blade. You don't have to have a brand new razor blade. If you have one of the little razor blade scraper tools, those are very convenient. I would recommend getting one of those if you can. I don't have one. We have them at work though. Very, very handy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper towel, which already has coolant on it. I'm going to take this paper towel and I'm going to kind of stuff it down in there. Not packing it in, not making it real tight. Just kind of, you see, it's kind of like a basket to where if any of that rubber stuff goes down in there, it's not going to get into the engine. It's just going to fall in or onto said paper towel. I'm going to put a little bit more, as you probably heard, I ripped a little bit more off. And there we go. it just kind of creates like a little basket. Sorry if my video keeps going sideways or whatever, that's my bad, but it creates just a little basket. So we take our razor here. Hopefully you guys can see this. We just lightly shave. See, we just lightly shave off. This razor is very, very sharp, so it keeps kind of catching. But we'll just kind of scrape it off, you know, just give it a little scrape. Try to. This razor blade is very, very sharp. It's actually, so it might be cutting into the metal there a little bit. That's just making little indents right there. I don't like that. That looks like it's doing an alright job, though, at least. Yeah, there we go. Now, I do have just like a regular little gasket, not this. This is that, the stuff you like get in a tube. I don't have that. I just have a regular, what's it at? It's a regular little paper gasket, I guess is what it is. Just have that. And that should, if I do leave any imperfections on either side, should still seal pretty darn good. Yeah, so I'm just still shaving away. I won't make you guys watch this whole thing, because then my video would be very long. It's already getting a little long in my opinion, so sorry about that, but I'll cut real quick. I'll keep doing this, and I'll update you guys after I am finished with this. Alrighty, so I'm back, and I did a little bit off a video just to get some things prepared so this video isn't too crazy long, because I see we're already about almost 30 minutes into the video. Sorry about the length of the video, but you know, first video is what it is. But what we got here is, so that's our thermostat, which I tested. That's our gasket, and then we're just going to put this back on there. Now, you might be asking, what do you mean you tested your thermostat? Well, I got a pot of boiling water. If you already know how to do this, you don't have to watch me explain this, but if you don't, it's actually really good to know. I got a pot of water. I didn't crank it all the way up. What you want to do is, depending on the heat that your thermostat engages, which mine is 180 degrees Fahrenheit, you set the water to get to as close to that temperature as possible. Of course, it's not going to be the easiest thing to do, but I turn the water about halfway, or the temperature about halfway, let that heat up. If it wasn't enough, give it a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, till you get as close to the operating temperature as possible. As I said, in case this one's 180, some are 190, some are 200. I saw one for this car for 205 degrees, and I said, nah, I'm gonna get a cooler temperature one to hopefully keep my my engine and coolant temperature lower. But so it works fine. I think you should always do that. You should always test them, because sometimes, well, not even sometimes, a good amount of the times whenever you get those, they'll be faulty, because they build parts so cheap anymore. So it's always good to test them if possible. If possible, not all parts you can just test right out the bat. Sometimes you just gotta put it on. But so let me grab the bolts over here. A little parts tray. Got a little parts tray right here. Again, Craftsman. It's a little Craftsman parts tray. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this up here. Just take these bolts. Get it started by hand, of course. As you should do with, well, really anything on cars. You should always try to start them by hand. You don't want to always grab the big guns, start, you know, cranking down on it, because then you run the risk of breaking stuff. I don't like breaking stuff. I'm sure if you guys watching this video work on cars, I'm sure that you guys do not like breaking stuff either. So that's why I'm just using my socket and extension. Just running it down with my hands now. Get on there. There we go. I'm gonna grab my ratchet, make sure it's going the right way. Righty tighty. I'm gonna tighten these up. Here, I'll video this a little bit if I can. We're gonna tighten them up in like a pattern almost. I know there's only two, so it's not really a pattern, but what I'm gonna do is just kind of get that one snug, that one snug, this one a little more snug. Oh, look at that one has some give in it there. Okay. Why is that just spinning? Oh, this might not be very fun, ladies and gentlemen. Because that is currently just spinning. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. These do not be stripped out. There's no reason for this to be stripped out. These do not be stripped. I'm not totally sure what's going on here. I don't think that the bolts had... Okay. So that's not nice. That is not nice. I don't know what's going on here. So, well, that's... Well, this video is not going to go as planned. Sorry, I'm sideways. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my threads that this bolt is supposed to grab onto. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking down in the tube right now because I am thoroughly, genuinely shocked. That is not good. It is very not good. That is the epitome of not good. I'm going to take this other bolt out real quick. Yeah, that is not good at all, ladies and gentlemen. This bolt's okay. And, yes, it did quite, in fact, rip the threads out. Okay. As I promised, I'm going to keep this family friendly. But I have to figure out something to do about this. So, whenever I figure something out, I will, I'll continue this video. I'll take a break for a second and figure this out. Okay, I'm back. So, as I said, those are my threads, the top threads. These are the old bolts, which, well, they kind of ripped those threads out, which, if you know, is not good because those threads are in here, in the intake. So that's a no-no. But I was able to get these new, that's my extension again. I was able to get these new bolts in here, luckily, without having too much trouble. I don't know where that extension just went. It's fine now. That's the least of my concerns. Now, I'm really, really hoping and praying that that sealed. Because if not, then I am in trouble. World of trouble. It'd be very expensive to fix. I do not really have the financial means of fixing that. But, sorry you get a good view of me or whatever. So, I'm putting this back where it was, grabbing these. Yeah, see a little bit of brown on the end of the paper towel. That's not good in coolant. It's not what you want to see. Should just be nice, clean colored. Let's grab this paper towel. Oh, maybe grab just a paper towel out of the end of the hose that is now drowning in coolant because I dropped it. Also, after you get done dealing with coolant, make sure you wash your hands. Coolant is / can be a toxic fluid. Just throw that away. Yeah, so then after your hands get nice and covered in it, make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. So, I'm gonna just pop that hose back on there, and then this is gonna take both hands. So I'm just gonna explain what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna take that little ring thing, put it back on the hose, make sure it holds. Then we'll fill this bad boy up with some coolant. Hopefully I have enough coolant. I should have enough coolant. I have no idea how much coolant this thing takes. But, yep, that is the plan, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'll be right back. Alright, so, I got that lower hose on there. It wasn't too terrible. You can hopefully see it's on there. Now, the next step should just be adding coolant. Since the cap's got a little bit of coolant on her, just set that on a paper towel, like so. Then, make sure everything's good, make sure nothing looks terrible, everything seems to be alright. So now what I'm going to do is attempt to find a good spot for you guys to sit. Like I said, attempt. Let's see, maybe. I think right there will work. So, what I'm going to do, grab my coolant funnel right there. And then I got jugs, coolant down here. I got 2 full jugs and 1 partial jug of, as I said, yellow universal. So, I'll try to use these 2 full jugs first. Pop this bad boy open. And we'll start filling her up. I'm actually not going to make you guys watch this entire filling up process. It's filling it up. I think you should know how to fill something up with fluid. You just dump it until you can see the fluid. And then with this, since it now has a thermostat in it, I'll run it and then wait for the thermostat to open. And then should be able to add more fluid in after it gets fluid flowing through it. So I will do this and come back to you guys. Well, I'm in the car real quick. Gotta start it up anyways to get coolant flowing through the motor. Figure you guys might like to hear it get started up. That pump running. Loud, but it sounds good. So I'll let this get up to temperature, then I'll fill up the radiator, make sure it's full, topped off, then I'll probably just finish off this video.